In the twilight of the 1980s, Franco Luambo Macchiadi, the towering leader of TPOK Jazz, seemed untouchable. His orchestra dominated the music scene across Africa, and his name carried weight in both Kinshasa's streets and the highest halls of power. Yet behind that success, the master guitarist was quietly battling the most difficult chapter of his life.
Moto moko ndima te ke maladi na ngai te. Mais soki naza na maladi wana, puisuka maladi wana ke fo muta kufa. Basi ka tana kufa. Tamba ko sala autopsie, ba ko yeba eloko ni mpasi ni na kufeli nango. Mais soki nzambe azali, nkolo azali. Soki na kufite, ngane muna kotuna moko moko. Pamba te moto nyonso asakolo mabe pona ngana bitina te. Bon. Ngai na kosa autrement te.
In 1987, Franco made one of the boldest artistic choices of his career when he released the song Atoncio Nasida, translated as Beware of AIDS. At a time when the disease was wrapped in misery and fear, he took a public stance, urging governments to respond and people to protect themselves. The song, performed largely in French by members of TPOK Jazz and Victoria Eleison, with Franco himself as the lead vocalist, was both haunting and courageous. It recycled the melodic backbone of his 1978 hit, Jackie, but replaced the obscenity with a stark social warning. In 1988, Franco's health was visibly deteriorating. He sought treatment in Brussels after a string of exhausting performances. Speculation about his illness spread rapidly. Some claimed it was cancer, others whispered it was AIDS. In his usual style, Franco chose to answer his critics not through interviews but through song. Later that year, he recorded The Rumours, a defiant track meant to silence gossip about his condition. That same period, he joined Sam Mangwana in Brussels to record the album Forever, featuring songs like Toujours OK, Always OK, which would become one of his last studio collaborations. His health, however, continued to decline. Doctors in Belgium advised him to rest, but Franco's spirit resisted retirement. He had lived his entire life surrounded by guitars, horns, and voices. Stepping away from the band was like cutting off his own breath. In the few public appearances that followed, he appeared frail yet determined. At one of his final concerts in Amsterdam, 1989, Franco could only perform briefly before being helped off stage. On October 12, 1989, at the Mount Godin Hospital in Namur, Belgium, Franco Luambo Macchiadi passed away at the age of 51. His death sent shockwaves through Africa. According to BBC.com, though the exact cause was never officially confirmed, many believed he succumbed to complications related to AIDS, a reality that gave his song Atoncio Nasida a haunting new relevance. His body was flown back to Kinshasa on October 15, where thousands of mourners filled the streets. The government declared 4 days of national mourning, and his coffin was paraded through the capital before being laid to rest at Gombe Cemetery, a resting place reserved for national heroes. During the Requiem Mass, Father Ntonto described Franco as a moral mirror to the nation, a voice that spoke for both the sinner and the saint. The city would later rename Avenue Bokassa to Avenue Luambo Macchiadi Franco in his memory. Franco's legacy, however, was not buried with him. His band TP OK Jazz continued under the leadership of Simaro Lutumba, with Joski Kiambukuta and Dombe Opetum among others. The group agreed to a profit-sharing arrangement that split earnings between the musicians in Franco's family, a reflection of the unity he had built over the decades. In 1994, that chapter evolved into a new formation known as Bana OK, marking a symbolic continuation of Franco's musical lineage. Technically, Franco changed the sound of African music forever. His guitar didn't just play melodies, it conversed with the rhythm. He avoided sharp solos in favor of interlocking notes and mellow harmonies, a method rooted in Congolese folk structures like ondemba. The style became the hallmark of Congolese rumba, influencing generations from Papa Wemba to Kofi Olomide and Fally Ipupa. He also revolutionized song composition by placing the seben or instrumental climax at the end of a track rather than the middle. That innovation turned dance sections into emotional resolutions. Listeners could cry, dance, and reflect all in one song. His longer pieces, such as Binananga na Respe, stretched over 15 minutes, weaving storytelling with moral lessons and social commentary. Franco's personal life was as colorful as his music. He married twice and fathered many children. His first significant relationship with Marie-José Kenge, famously known as Majos, inspired some of his most emotional ballads like Mami Majos. Later, he married Pauline Masuba, who became a source of calm and stability amid the chaos of stardom. Friends often said that when Franco wasn't on stage, he was happiest surrounded by family or quietly strumming his guitar while watching Kinshasa's nightlife unfold from his veranda. Even today, more than 3 decades after his passing, Franco remains a towering figure. His catalogue, estimated at over 1,000 songs and 150 albums, continues to dominate airwaves across Africa. Critics from The Guardian and BBC Africa have called him Africa's greatest musical innovator and the conscience of the Congo. In Kinshasa, his influence is immortal. Streets still echo with his rhythms. Younger guitarists study his patterns like sacred scripture. And every year in October, fans gather to celebrate his life not in mourning but in rhythm, laughter, and dance. Because Franco Luambo Makiadi didn't just make music, he built a movement. He turned pain into poetry and rhythm into remembrance. 36 years on, the Grand Maître still plays. In every seben, in every guitar that sings, in every heart that beats to the sound of rumba without borders. Kala lelo bakoseli o makambo epa ya boa lutumba.